Geralt had to face Eredin, but could only hope to beat him with the help of friends. The Wild Hunt could be defeated with exceptionally powerful magic, so Triss and Yen set out to reconvene the Lodge of Sorceresses. Avallac'h, too, began to lay plans of his own. The Elven Sage decided to erode the King of the Hunt's support in his own realm. With Geralt in tow, he ventured through other worlds to the city of Tir na Lial. There they found Eredin's viceroy, Gels. Gels had been a loyal subject of the Alder Folk's previous king. When he learned Eredin was a regicide, he agreed to help defeat the usurper.
Oh, you make a fine sailor, till the puking set in.
Help protect Ciri from the Wild Hunt, and the Emperor will grant you amnesty.
I hope we can trust you.
You can.
What of Fringilla?
That I don't know, but I shall take it up with him.
You barely said hello and you're already plotting something.
It's clearly in our nature.
I hear right? You convinced the Emperor to pardon them?
Provided they help us defend Ciri.
Got a hard time believing Emperor'd go in for a deal like that.
If you can't believe it, don't. I don't need you to.
Bit about Fringilla. What was that? Triss told me you couldn't contact her.
Perhaps because she sits in the Emperor's dungeon, chained in Dimeritium. At least that's what Rita implied.
Take it the Emperor forgot to tell you about this.
I don't like it. That was not our deal. When it's all over, I'll need to have a candid discussion with the Emperor. Come. They're all waiting for us. Geralt?
We started talking about the past.
But didn't finish.
Still can't get something out of my mind.
What?
We started talking about the past.
But didn't finish.
When the Hunt had you. Hope they didn't hurt you.
Even if they did, I've no memory of it. The whole time's but a string of phantom images. Blood and fire. A wild chase through different worlds. All shrouded in fog. Though I do remember you coming for me. Trading your life for mine. I hadn't the chance to thank you then.
You'd have done the same for me.
I'm touched by your certainty. But you've yet to tell me how you escaped them.
Wouldn't mind knowing that myself. There are times I remember rushing forward, Red Riders around me. Next thing I know, I'm in the woods at the foot of Kaer Morhen. That's it. What did Eredin want from you exactly?
The same thing he wanted from you. You don't recall?
Draw a blank on most of my time with him.
We were bait, Geralt. Both of us. Eredin believed Ciri would come for us sooner or later and he would capture her. Fortunately, she didn't fall for it.
How do you go from being the Emperor's hostage to being his ally?
One day, the door of my cell opened, and instead of seeing the usual officer, I saw Emhyr. He promised to release me and grant me free reign of the Imperial Treasury, provided I did what he asked.
He told you about Ciri, and you accepted his offer. Why?
Shared aims make for strange bedfellows. I knew I had to find Ciri before Eredin did. And if any man had the power and the means to help me, it was the Emperor. Besides, once all's said and done, he is her father.
Why didn't you look for me, after you'd recovered your memory and your freedom?
I assumed you would recover quickly and find me first.
You had mages to help you. I was on my own.
Well, not entirely. Besides, I knew you'd fled the hunt. Eredin would never have let you go. He'd erased my memory, but you escaped. It was wholly possible he hadn't had the chance with you. And there were your Witcher mutations. I expected they'd stave off any serious injury.
Still can't get something out of my mind.
What?
You and Triss have a good time?
Splendid. We finally got the chance to talk.
What about?
Everything but you. Geralt of Rivia is no longer a subject of any interest to either of us.
Thanks, Yen. See you later.
Just ain't like any I've ever seen.
All are present. You were the last to arrive. Might we set sail?
Wait here. Forgot something.
All are present. You were the last to arrive. Might we set sail?
Wait here. Forgot something.
All are present. You were the last to arrive. Might we set sail?
Anchors away.
The king of the Wild Hunt sailed aboard the Naglfar, a giant longship that traveled between worlds. As Gels had advised, the Witcher set out to find the Sunstone, an artifact needed to draw Eredin into a trap.
Well, that settles the question of His Imperial Majesty's whereabouts.
Does he aim to conquer Skellige? But he knows. Those are my friends.
He wishes to grant you the Isles, with Sintra and the rest of the Empire.
There is an upside to all this.
Is that so?
The Emperor will have to help us fight the Hunt. And we've just found Fringilla Vigo.
We must hurry and find the Sunstone. Seems we've plenty to do in Skellige after that.
Fringilla Vigo. We need her here.
At the moment, we don't even know what the Sunstone is.
It was created so the Mountain Elves could summon the vessels of the NL. Now it merely serves as a symbol of a lost opportunity to unite the two tribes. Truly? Can all of you be unfamiliar with the story of Gelban and Dillion of the White Fleet?
Tell us, please. Absolutely love elven legends.
Gelban was a sage of the Elder Elves. He fell in love with an Enshe elf, Dillion. Yet she spurned him.
That was a jest on Geralt's part.
Too late. It won't hurt any of you to know this. On the day the White Fleet was to set sail, Gelban gave Dillion a gift. The Sunstone. He believed Dillion's heart would soften in time. Once her longing for him burgeoned, she was to use the Sunstone. Though worlds away, he would return for her.
Sounds promising. Let's just hope this Sunstone proves more useful to us than it did to that elf woman.
What I want to know is if we'll be able to use the Sunstone.
You? No. Me? Naturally. With a touch of help from the sorceresses.
Of whom some are below deck vomiting, while others remain unreachable.
The Sunstone's in Skellige? How do we know that?
From legends. Elven ones. It lies where the White Fleet landed centuries ago.
Meaning anywhere on any one of the Isles. Splendid.
Ermion. I'll talk to him.
Know where he is?
I'll ask around the port. Crach's longships are moored there. Can you teleport me onto Ymir's ship?
Not a chance. It's better shielded than the Emperor's alcove.
Though we could try to force our way through.
We need Fringilla in one piece.
Think they know we're here?
Ymir's mages, of course.
If the matter of Fringilla Vigo were resolved, they'd probably just send her over here in a skiff.
It's far from resolved. The Emperor pledged to ensure the Lodge's safety, but...
Fringilla's a pricklier matter. She's his subject. One officially sentenced to death for treason.
You'll need to learn what Ymir has planned for her, once we've found a way to toss you over to the Imperial flagship.
I'll get on the Emperor's ship myself.
A plan to swim? With swords on your back? You'll get shot up like a sitting duck before you can say, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
Don't panic. He'll find a way. Make your approach by night. You'll stand a better chance then. And once you're on board, show His Imperial Majesty this letter. Hand it to him directly. We should remind him what he promised, and what he'll get in return.
I'm off.
Good luck. You should talk to him after all.
What would be the point? Surely none now.
And later? Don't count your father out just because he's the world's richest and most powerful...
Yes, Geralt?
You imprisoned Ciri the first time you met her. Now you protect her while fighting against your own kind. Quite an about-face.
First of all, I did not imprison her. She found me. It was her destiny.
Yeah, sure. Get to the second of all. Why are you helping her?
Because she is a danger. A mortal one. You look at her and see a human, a ward, a daughter even. I look and see the Elder Blood. A power that can destroy the world. A power that must be kept from Eredin's power-addled hands at all costs. Admittedly, our motives differ. Yet in spite of that, we share a goal. So, you would be wise to trust me. Or at least try.
Tell me something more about Caranthir. Know him well?
Know him? I reared him.
Raised, don't you mean?
No, Geralt. I began shaping him long before he was born. For centuries, I brought together pairs of elves manifesting certain abilities, those able to manipulate time and space. He is the result of these efforts. Caranthir, a golden child. Golden child who grew up to be a criminal.
Charming world you and Elle have got. Could easily fall in love with the place. Tell me, how do you do it? Sit around playing flute, painting rutting unicorns in gorgeous landscapes, building ornately sculpted towers? And then you murder us, without batting an eye, without a hint of guilt. How?
Do you humans feel guilt when you murder Enshe elves? Or dwarves? Or dryads? We are the same. Simply because we both firmly believe others are inferior.
From the look of things, pretty soon Ciri won't need your help anymore.
Nor yours.
True. She'll do whatever she wants, and I'll support her. What about you? Ready to let her live her own life?
I shan't force her to do anything if that's your question.
Margarita any better?
I managed to accelerate tissue regeneration. She's feeling much better. In fact, we must bring Eredin here as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm afraid these sorceresses of yours will start fighting amongst themselves.
So long.
Geralt?
Thanks, Yen. See you later. Got a minute?
Of course.
Eredin's located you time and again. How's that work?
When I pass between worlds, I create a kind of shockwave. Anyone properly trained can sense it. That's how Avallac'h explains it, at any rate. He can do it too.
So you shouldn't actually ever use your power.
It's not like that. The impulse is stronger the longer my voyage. On short hops, the disturbance is practically imperceptible.
Traveling between worlds, what's it like?
It's nice.
Difficult?
It was at first, but in time it became automatic, like riding a horse.
Bet a lot of mages would love to learn to do it.
I'm certain they would. But Avallac'h claims they've neither the knowledge nor talent. He spent 4 centuries learning to do it, yet can still only find and pass through pre-existing portals. I go wherever I please, whenever I please.
Once you'd left Yen and me on the Isle of Avalon, what happened to you? What did you do?
I traveled through time, space, different worlds. I saw houses of glass, ran with unicorns at the world's end. Even lived in an undersea kingdom for a time.
Freedom. Always had a taste for it.
I still do.
So why'd you return?
It was too much. I almost drowned in it. When everything is possible, it quickly becomes a lot less alluring.
I should go.
All right. We'll talk later.
Yes, Geralt?
Back there at the Kingfisher.
Oh, you really want to talk about it? Maybe I should get Yennefer. Wouldn't want her to miss any of this.
No, you're right. Bad idea.
Yes, Geralt?
Been in Novigrad long?
Long enough to know how not to get caught and survive.
And before you came here, where were you?
Oh, places where I managed to get by without your help, too. Which doesn't mean I'm not happy to see you.
So long, Triss.
Got me high on you. The favor Lady Bran did for our son sure did bear. And Holgar was among them. Heard it already. to a bite from yesterday's
Promise me a gold ring to put him ashore.
Did we take pity on the Sultan wretch?
You know you can't refuse a castaway. Though, once we were on shore, I slit his throat.
Something I've always wondered. Greetings. Looking to buy?
Show me your wares. So long.
Closer, stranger.
It's clearing up. Be easier to sneak on board after dark.
Shoot!
Wait, Harley. Damn it!
Hold! It's the Witcher! Emperor's orders! Stand down! Ah! lordling.
We're done talking.
Ah!
I've given you your orders. They are clear.
Yes, Geralt?
You look good.
For a captive of Emir, is that what you mean?
Seems like he's shown you surprising leniency. No interrogations, no torture. Or did you just tell him everything he wanted to know?
If I'd told him everything, he'd hardly still need me alive, wouldn't you say? Anyway, we shan't speak of it. I and what concerns me have not been a concern of yours for some time now.
Cantarella. Who is she, really? She mentioned you knew each other.
You ran into her. Her real name is Carthia van Canton, Asira's former collaborator. She's very talented.
Spied for you?
Not just for us, probably. I doubt she wishes any harm upon me or other sorceresses, but one must be very careful what one says in her presence.
Seemed like you told her quite a lot about me.
You ought to feel flattered, then. That makes you famous on both banks of the Yaruga.
So long.
When I wish to speak to you, I shall have you summoned. We're done talking. When I wish to speak to you, I shall have you summoned.
Yes, Geralt?
So long.
Yes, Geralt?
So long.
We're done talking.
The king of the Wild Hunt sailed aboard the Naglfar, a giant longship that traveled between worlds. As Gels had advised,
I've given you your orders, they are clear.
Hands
like
up
a
on
big
guns.
fella. Have I changed straight?
Best blade's not worth shite if a weak arm swinging it ain't.
What are ye looking at?
More trouble. Grand those swords, but I prefer me trusty axe.
Friends we show heart.
Wolf, did you see? The black dogs in their rickety tubs. They bay at our gates, seek to strike fear in our hearts.
Saw them all. Where's Ermion?
Went to see Lugas. And on Crate on the throne remains a thorn in his ass. Now he's seen the Black Ones, it pricks him even harder. The Druid's gone to reason with the dim-witted knob.
Think I'll join Ermion. Need to talk to him.
Go. And when you see that bloody twit Lugas, be sure and tell him... best not. The Druid knows what to say. Farewell.
Son sure did bear a high price. You've no respect for our customs. Not ye, nor that witch Yennefer.
Hello.
Did you sever his head? Head of a giant.
Respect, Witcher.
Hands up on guns, or I'll...
Something I've always wondered. Once there are no battleless, passionate giants.
You've no respect for our customs.
Respect,
Not
Witcher.
ye, nor that witch Yennefer.
And what else would crack have? I'll not kneel before an Oncrite, never. That clear to you?
You prefer to aid the Black Ones?
I'd sooner aid the rights of bleeding Moorhog than let Crack rule all Skellige.
And your men, what do they say? Will they follow you when the Jarls call you a traitor?
This here's my land, Druid. Watch your words.
What would you call it if not treason?
That's your bark before you bite. Did Crack send you here for my head? Well then go ahead. Try to take it. Get him!
We should not stay here.
The king of the Wild Hunt sailed aboard the Naglfar, a giant longship that traveled between worlds. As Gels had advised,
Something I've always wondered. What did you...
May your axe never crumble.
And what else would Crack have? He not content to have the mightiest fleet, take control of my oil, and seen his spawn on the throne.
Under present circumstances,
Under present circumstances, Crack can go ahead and reap the shite he sown. Almighty Crack. Well, surely he can take on the Black Ones and myself. I'll not kneel before an Oncrite, never. That clear to you?
you prefer to aid the Black Ones?
I'd sooner aid the rights of bleeding Moorhog than let Crack rule all Skellige.
And your men, what do they say? Will they follow you when the Jarls call you a traitor?
This here's my land, Druid. Watch your words.
Would you be king by Nilfgaard's grace?
That's your bark before you bite. Did Crach send you here for my head? Well then go ahead. Try to take it. Get him! I'll rip the skin out!
For death!
We should not stay here.
Hey. Back off! I'll kill him!
good.
Move. That's enough.
Wait. This one's really funny.
Come. Well, Geralt, I see no row can occur in Skellige without your participation.
Mean and inaccurate, Ermion. Seems to me I've missed quite a few.
The blood of Crach's blood sits upon the throne, and that is your doing. I'm afraid you've ignited a small civil war.
For ages, men had shed each other's blood in the quest for Skellige's crown. Politics as usual, just a difference of degree. Yet the bloody feast at Caer Trolde was different. It was dishonorable, treacherous, needed investigation. More Witcher's work. Work that culminated with the crowning of the Isle's new queen.
So, Clan Drummond will attack sooner than we expected, it seems.
Thought Crach sent you to negotiate an agreement with Lugos.
Ha! An agreement? Only Crach believes such a thing possible at this stage.
Mean I didn't actually ruin things for you?
Not this time. Lugos' death stands to change a great deal. His cousin, who will now be named Jarl, is a weak commander. Stupid. This war will start soon, end even sooner. But why have you returned to Skellige?
How's Cerys handling things?
Has the makings of an excellent queen, if she would only flee her father's shadow. Everyone, Lugos excepted, declared their support for her. Yet the minute the Imperial fleet appeared on the horizon, the Jarl took matters into his own hands.
And Hjalmar?
The lads led 3 raids against the Imperial fleet, all against Crach's will, all failed. Yet he'll find volunteers for another.
Yeah, sounds like Hjalmar. Listen, Ermion, know anything about the Sunstone? Legends place it somewhere in Skellige.
The Mask of Urberus first, now the Sunstone. Monsters may rest easy. You've become a treasure hunter. I've never found the Enshe elves interesting. But there's a skald, Eyvind. He could help you. Once told me of some inaccessible caverns or ruins or some such.
Where will I find him?
Today? In Arenbjorn, doubtless. You might also ask the Pearl Divers, Erling and Matthias Fishlung. Of late, they hunt near the tip of the bay, eastern end.
Fish lung? Interesting.
So they call him. Submerges for hours at a time. None know how he does it, but I've my suspicions.
Not too fond of him.
It's nothing personal. I couldn't stand his father or grandfather either.
Thanks for your help.
One thing, Geralt. These caves are ruins. Matthias and Erling's ancestors would have looted them bare centuries ago were they not protected by some magic barrier. Take a sorceress with you. You must have brought at least one along.
Whole gaggle this time.
Gods protect us.
You've come a long way.
How are yous?
Winds howling.
I was wrong about you, Witcher.
Can I come any further, I guess?